We're going to start today in seated. We'll start as we often do with some seated breathing. So finding a nice comfortable seat. If you can, legs crossed. If that's not comfortable, then whatever is a comfortable seat for you is absolutely fine. So kneeling can work. And you're looking for a nice straight spine. A nice relaxed downward gaze, or closing your eyes, whatever you feel comfortable with. Make sure your shoulder blades are down your back. Hands can rest wherever is comfortable, but you will find that the further you bring your hands up your thighs, especially if you have your palms facing upwards, it actually naturally sends your shoulder blades down your back slightly, which makes you sit up slightly straighter. And resting your focus on your breath. So for the next few minutes, attention rests with your breath. Noticing the gentle ebb and flow of your breath. Natural coming and going of your inhale and of your exhale. And notice how easy it is to keep your focus on your breath. So notice if your mind is wandering. Notice what your mind is wandering to. And your mind will wander. That's completely natural. But each time that your mind wanders, very gently bring your focus back to your breath. Notice how your body feels. Notice if you're holding any tension anywhere. So notice if your shoulders have crept up around your ears. Notice if you're holding any tension in your face, especially in your mouth, or around your forehead and jaw. And let that go. All right, focus resting on your breath. And now bringing your attention back into your body. Opening your eyes if your eyes are closed. Starting to make some gentle movements. Just coming back into the room. And then you might want to bring your legs out in front and give your legs a nice shake out. Okay, and we'll just take a few rotations with the ankles. So rotating the ankles in one direction, and then in the other direction. And then we're going to come from here straight to kneeling. So if kneeling isn't comfortable for you, or you need some extra support, then rolling your mat up can be really helpful, or grabbing a blanket or a cushion or anything like that under your knees. Or if that's not possible, then sitting is absolutely fine. So you can stay seated. There's nothing that we're going to do that you can't do in seated if you can't kneel. So just allow hands to rest on the thighs, drop shoulders down your back, and just taking a few rotations with your head to start with. So nice big, bringing chin right down to chest. Just be careful of your neck, make sure you keep your neck nice and long as you bring your head backwards. And if neck doesn't feel happy with your head coming backwards, then just take a half moon chair. And then next time chin comes to the center at the bottom, taking the head in the other direction. So again, keeping neck nice and long as your head comes backwards. Be very gentle, be very kind to yourself. Notice the differences between the two directions. Maybe it feels different rotating one way to the other. And then the next time you bring your chin to your chest, bring your head back up through the midline. And take some rotations here with your shoulders. Nice big circles. So if they're anything like mine, they're quite crunchy. And then taking that in the other direction. And again, noticing the differences between the two directions. So one way might feel very different to the other way. And then allow that to relax. Just give arms a little bit of a shake out. And then bring your left arm across your body. And then take your right arm, bend your right arm, and you're supporting around your left wrist, not actually over the wrist joint, in the crook of the right elbow. Make sure you keep your left shoulder blade down your back, and then you're using that right arm to just pull the arm in towards you. So this should give you a nice stretch through the left shoulder. Taking a few breaths here. So everybody's body will be different, so just working with where you are. And you're going to relax that slightly, leaving left hand on top of right, and you're going to bring the arms so they're crossed roughly at the elbows. And then you're going to wrap the forearms around each other. You might find that you can get your palm, your fingers to your palm. You might find that you're holding onto your wrists. So everybody will be different here. And then once you get there, you're going to just lift your elbows up. This will pull the shoulder blades apart. Taking a few breaths here, so breathing into your back. Try to keep a nice, gentle rhythm with your breath. And then exhale, unravel the arms, release, bring the hands behind, clasp your hands, and then roll your shoulders back, pull your hands down towards the earth. That might be enough of a stretch for you, or you might want to start to lift your arms up behind. So again, work with your body. Just be mindful of where you are. Try and keep your spine nice and straight. Crown of the head stays lifting up towards the sky. Breathing into the front of your body, so breathing into your chest. And notice if you have a tendency to stick your rib cage out here, I certainly do. And then if you have noticed that your rib cage is sticking out, so if you can pull your rib cage back in, this will make all of those abdominal muscles switch on a little bit tighter. And then exhale to release the hands. And then if you're on kneeling, you can come straight forward to all fours. If you're seated, then come and find an all fours position. So you want to be planting your hands below your your hands below your shoulders, your knees below your hips. And we're just going to start here taking a few free-form movements, so just moving in any way that feels nice. So the only rule is that your hands stay where they are and that your knees stay where they are. Otherwise, you can move in any way that feels nice. It's quite a nice way of just easing the body in. Working out what feels nice for you today. And then coming back to neutral. So gradually finding your way back to neutral. So we're going to take the left leg and we're going to inhale, lift the left leg up behind. And then exhaling, you're going to bring the left knee towards the nose. And then inhale, take the leg up behind again. And then exhale, bend the left knee, bring it out to the side, turn to look towards the knee. And then inhale, take the leg up behind. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, take it behind. Exhale, bend the knee, turn to look towards the knee. Inhale, take the leg up behind. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose. Inhale, leg up behind. Exhale, bend the knee, turn to look. Inhale, take the leg up behind. And this time as you're exhaling, you're going to bring the foot all the way forwards and plant the foot on the floor beside the left hand. Lovely. And then from here, we're going to take a few rotations with your hips. So it doesn't matter which way you start. It doesn't matter how small or how large your rotations are. The size of the rotation will vary depending on your hip flexibility. And then taking that back in the other direction. So whichever way you were rotating, rotate in the other way. And then gradually bringing that back to neutral. Leaving your right hand firmly planted on the mat where it is. And then you can inhale and lift your left hand up so you come to a twist. If you want to make this stronger, you can then tuck the toes of the right foot underneath and lift the right leg. So you come to a kind of asymmetrical lunge twist. Keep sinking wherever you are through the right hip flexor. And then exhale, if you've got the knee lifted, bring it back to the floor. Bring the left hand back to the floor. And then bring the left foot so it comes in between your hands. So you're in more of a runner's lunge position. We're actually looking for the runner's lunge position. So you might want to shift your right knee backwards slightly to give yourself space to sink down into runner's lunge. We'll take a few breaths here. And then on an inhale, we're going to come up. Options for your hands, either hands on hips, hands to cactus, or hands up overhead, whichever works for you. Lovely. So from here, we're then going to exhale. You're going to start to straighten your front leg, lifting the toes of your front foot. And then as you do that, you're going to come forwards, bringing the hands back behind you. So this is quite a challenge for the balance. And then again, you're going to inhale, hands come up overhead, come back to your runner's lunge. Exhale, lift the front foot, hands come behind, straightening the front leg. And a couple more times. So inhale, hands come up, dropping into your runner's lunge. Exhale, lift the front foot, hands come up behind. And last one, inhale, hands come up. Exhale, hands come back, lifting the front foot. And then pop your hands back down on the earth and come back to all fours. From here, we're going to tuck the toes underneath, push into the hands, push into the feet, lift tailbone and come to downward dog. And when you get to downward dog, walking the dog, so you're pushing your heels away one at a time, stretching out the backs of your legs, stretching out hamstrings. And then bring your heels down towards the earth. Make sure you keep your shoulder blades down your back so you've got a nice long neck. You're going to inhale, lift the left leg up behind. So take a few breaths here with the left leg lifted. Some of you might want to stay here. Some of you might then want to bend the left knee, dropping the foot over towards the right hand side. And you can then come and look underneath the left arm to come to a weird free leg downward dog sort of position. And from here, exhale, bring the foot wherever it is back down to the mat, come back down to your downward dog. And then shift your feet backwards slightly, come over your hands and come to plank pose. So really pushing the floor away with your hands. Nice and strong through the center of your body. So if you need to drop your knees here, that's absolutely fine. And then wherever you are here, exhale, lowering yourself so you come all the way down to the mat. So bringing your forehead to the mat. Hands come down, backs of the hands rest down on the mat. You're going to inhale, lift your arms and your upper body up off the earth. And then exhale, lower back down. We're going to do that twice more and then we'll hold on the third. So inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. This time we're going to come up and hold. So inhale, lift the upper body, come up. We'll take a few breaths here. So really pulling your deep abdominals in and up. Pulling your fingertips down towards your feet, shoulder blades down your back. And then exhale, lower down. So we're going to work a little bit on the lower body now. So it might be nice to make a pillow with your hands. Or alternatively, you can just rest your forehead on the mat. So whatever's comfortable for you. So starting with the left leg, we're going to inhale, lift the left leg up behind. Exhale, lower. And again, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. And then we're going to swap to the right leg. So inhaling, lifting the right leg up behind. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last one, right leg. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to lower back down. And then bringing the toes together so they're touching. We're going to lift both legs together. So inhale, lift both legs up. Exhale, lower down. Twice more and then we'll hold. So inhaling lift. Exhaling lower. Inhaling to lift. Exhale lower. And we're going to lift and hold. So inhale, lift. Really pull the toes away from you. So it's like you're trying to shoot your toes as far away from your buttocks as you can. Try and keep your upper body nice and relaxed. Shoulder blades down your back. And then exhale, lower the feet back down to the back. So if you've got your hands in your pillow, bringing your hands now back down by your side, so your forehead will be resting on the mat. We're going to lift upper body and lower body together. So on an inhale, lift your upper body, lift your arms, lift your feet. You're pulling your fingers down towards your feet. You're pulling your feet away from your buttocks, lifting up as high as you can. So this is really working on those lower back muscles, those muscles in the back that support your core. And then exhale, lower everything back down. Just allow yourself a few breaths to rest. Then we're going to bring the hands. So I want you to bring your arms so your elbows are beside your chest. Your forearms are parallel and your fingers are spread. Your middle finger is roughly pointing the center of the front of your mat. And then you're going to push into your forearms and lift up to come to Sphinx pose. So keeping shoulder blades down your back. Gaze is down towards the end of your nose. Just taking a few breaths here. So your legs are active. The tops of your feet are pushing very gently into the earth. Your glute muscles are gently switched on. Pubic bone is pushing down into the earth. So tailbone is tucked. Pushing pubic bone down into the earth. And then exhale, lower back down. So some of you might want to stick with Sphinx pose, the pose that we've just done. Some of you might want to then bring your hands, so your hands are resting beside your chest. And then you're going to inhale, push into the hands and come up to Cobra. So your Cobra might be right the way down here, that's absolutely fine. You don't need to come right up. Again, feet are pushing into the floor, glutes are active, tailbone is tucked, pubic bone is pushing into the earth. Lower belly pulls in and up. Shoulder blades down your back, nice long neck. Gaze is down your nose. And then exhale to gently lower yourself back to the earth. Now you're going to bend your knees and you're going to bring your knees out wide, bringing the soles of your feet together. So you're in a kind of weird sort of breaststrokey type position. So this is another really good one for getting into the hip flexors. So again, you can either stay with your arms where they would be for Sphinx, or you can come to Cobra. And then all you're going to do is inhale, push either into your forearms or into your hands and lift yourself up. So keep shoulder blades down your back. So if you've come to Cobra, make sure your elbows stay in, nice and close to your body. And then from here, if you can, if you're already on your hands, you're going to push into your hands, come all the way up. Keep the feet together and you'll find yourself back in wide leg child's pose. Lovely. The toes should be touching, forehead on the earth, buttocks resting back on the heels. Shoulder blades down your back. Hands in the mat, on the mat, fingers spread. Taking a few breaths. And then from here, on an inhale, walk your hands back up and you'll find yourself back in a rather uncomfortable kneeling position, so bring your knees together. Okay, just need to do all of that on the other side. But you all know what you're doing now, so it's fine. Okay, so we're going to start by bringing the right arm out in front and then bring the right arm across the body. Bending the left hand, so you bring your forearm to rest in the crook of your elbow and then bringing the arm right the way across. Try to keep your right shoulder blade down your back. So see, this can be done seated as well. It doesn't need to be done in kneeling. And then bringing the hand back, keeping your arms crossed and wrapping your forearms around each other. So if you can, you bring your fingers to your palm. You might be bringing your fingers to your wrist or some other variation of. And then lifting your elbows. Get a nice deep stretch through the top, the back, shoulder blades. Seeing if you can breathe into that space that you've created. So breath into the upper back, breath into that space between the shoulder blades. And don't worry too much if that seems impossible or really weird. It takes practice to learn to direct breath that way. Exhale, lower the arms, release. Bring the hands behind, clasp your hands, roll your shoulders back so you're opening your chest. You're pulling your hands down and away from you. And then if it feels right for your body, you're also lifting your hands up behind. Again, working with your body. Again, breathing into the space that you've created. So this time you're breathing into the chest, the upper chest. Really directing the breath to that space. And then exhale, release the hands. Give your arms a little bit of shake. And then come to all fours. So hands below shoulders, knees below your hips. And this time we're going to take a few cat stretches. So dropping the belly and inhale to lift up. And then arching the back and exhaling to lift up. So inhaling up. And exhaling back. So work this movement in time with your breath. Trying to isolate the movement of each individual vertebrae. Really great pose for back mobility. And then on your next exhale, bringing that back to neutral. On an inhale, lift the right leg up behind. Exhale, bring the knee towards your nose. Inhale, take the leg up behind. Exhale, bend the knee out to the right hand side and turn to left. Inhale, leg up behind. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, leg up behind. Exhale, bend the knee, turn to left. Inhale, take the leg up behind. Exhale, knee to toes. Last one, inhale, leg up behind. Exhale, bend the knee, turn to look. Inhale, take the leg up behind. And then exhale, bring the right foot all the way forwards and rest it on the earth just beside the right hand. And take some rotations with your hips. So rotating the hips in one direction. It doesn't matter which direction. It doesn't matter how large your rotations are. And then changing directions. So rotating the hips the other way. And bringing that back to neutral. Planting the left hand this time on the earth, and then inhale to lift the right hand up to come to an asymmetric twist. And then if you want to, you can tuck your left toes and lift your left leg up behind. Really reaching away with the top fingertips, pushing into the floor with the right hand, dropping down into the left hip flexor. And then exhale, bring the knee to the earth. If it's lifted, bring the hand back to the earth. And then bring the right foot so it's directly in between the hands. And drop yourself down into runner's lunge. You might need to shift the foot slightly to get the stretch through the hip flexor. You want to make sure that you keep a right angle or less with the front leg. And then on an inhale coming up, either hands on hips, hands to cactus, or both hands up overhead, whichever works for you. Taking a few breaths here. Reaching away through your fingertips, making sure you keep your shoulder blades down your back so you've always got a nice long neck. And then we're going to exhale, start to straighten the front leg, lift the front toes, bringing the hands behind and up behind us. And then inhaling, coming back to your runner's lunge. Exhale, lift the foot, bring the hands back behind. Inhale, coming up to your runner's lunge. Exhale, hands come back behind. Inhale, runner's lunge, last one. And then exhale, bring the hands back up behind again, toes lifted. And then bring your hands down to the earth. Step back to all fours. Tuck toes underneath. And then on an inhale, lift your tailbone, pushing into hands, pushing into feet, and come to downward dog. So this time we're going to keep the feet static, so keep the heels pressing down towards the earth. Try and keep your shoulder blades down your back, nice long neck. Hands are spread, weight is evenly spread throughout the palms of your hands and your fingers. Lifting the tailbone, nice and strong through the center of your body. And then you're going to inhale, lift the right leg up behind. So some of you might stay here. Some of you might bend the right knee, so you drop the right foot over towards the left-hand side of the body, so you're sort of twisting. And then if you want to take that even further, you can then bring your hand to look, your head even, to look underneath your right arm. This is opening the whole right side of the body. It's opening the right hip flexor. And from wherever you are, then exhale, bring the foot back down to the earth to find yourself back in downward dog. And then you might want to shift your feet backwards slightly. Bring shoulders over your hands to come to plank. Drop your knees here if you need to. And then from here, exhale and lower yourself all the way back down. So bringing your hands back behind you, forehead to the earth. We're just going to move in and out of Shavasana. So we're not going to do the leg and the arm lifts this time. So on an inhale, you're going to pull your fingers down towards you. You're going to lift your upper body. You're going to lift your hands. You're going to lift your legs. And then you're going to exhale, lower that. Twice more, and then we'll hold. So inhale, lift upper body, lift legs. Exhale, lower. And again, inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Last one. Inhale, lift. And this time we're going to hold here and take a few breaths. Keep putting your shoulder blades down your back, fingertips pulling towards your toes, toes pulling away from your glutes. Nice, strong glutes. Lower belly pulls in and up. Try and keep a nice, even breath. And then exhale. Lower everything down. Bring your arms out in front of you so your elbows are resting beside your chest. Forearms are parallel. Fingers spread. Middle finger roughly pointing towards the front of your mat. And then you're going to inhale to push into your hands and come up to sphinx pose. So keep the tops of your feet pushing into the air. Glutes are switched on but not too strong. Shoulder blades down your back. Gaze down your nose. Keep pubic bone pushing into the earth. Lower belly pulls in and up. And then exhale. Lower all the way down. So some of you might want to stay with sphinx pose. Some of you might want to bring your hands in beside your chest. Keep your elbows pulling towards each other. Shoulder blades stay down. Tops of your feet pushing into the mat. Tuck your tailbone so you're pushing your pubic bone down into the mat. And then on an inhale, you can push into your hands to come up to cobra. Again, working with your body. If any of this doesn't feel good with your lower back, then ease right off. Don't be taking any discomfort in your lower back here. Make sure it still feels good. Keep shoulder blades down your back. Elbows pulling in towards your body. And then exhale, lower that. So bend your knees. Bring the soles of your feet together so your knees are coming out wide on the mat. And taking either sphinx or cobra here. So you might want to bring your forearms to the mat, or you might want to bring your hands beside your chest. Again, tuck tailbone, push pubic bone down into the mat, and then on an inhale, push into the hands to lift the front of your body. Keep shoulder blades down your back. Keep your neck nice and long. Keep lifting the lower belly. And then if you've got your hands on the earth, you can push into your hands, come over your knees and find your way all the way back into wide leg child pose. So keep toes together, knees stay wide, hands out in front of you, forehead resting on the mat. Few nice deep breaths. And then on an inhale, walking your hands all the way up. So you come back to seated. And then pop your knees back together and we're going to come and sit down on the mat. So I want you to sit. I want you to try and mirror my leg position. So my left foot is touching my right thigh. My right leg is bent with my foot in behind me. Okay, everybody's looking good. If this feels really uncomfortable, and it can for some people, then it can help to find a block or a book or a cushion or something just to prop under the pelvis. But if everyone's okay, I think everyone looks okay that I can see anyway. Okay, so then all you're going to do is you're going to push into your right knee, your right foot and your right shin, and that's going to open up this right hip flexor. And you're going to twist around slightly to look over the left shoulder. And then you're going to bring all of that down, bringing that right buttock back to the earth. And we're going to do that again. And we're going to keep that movement going, working with our breath. So you're going to inhale, pushing into the earth, lifting up. And then exhale to come back down. So inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. So try and keep your spine nice and straight. The only real twist here is coming from the pelvis and the opening of the hip flexor. So your right hand can stay roughly around your right knee, and your left hand can just rest gently beside you. So this is really good for working on the SI joint, lower spine. And then the next time you inhale and open up, just going to stay there and hold. So keep lifting through the crown of the head. You can turn your head a little bit more to look over your left shoulder. Keeping shoulder blades down your back. Try and stay nice and strong up through the sides of your body. Try and keep Mula Bandha engaged if you know what that is. And then exhale, bringing the buttock back to the earth. But this time you're going to come all the way around. So you bring your left hand to your right knee, and then you turn to look over your right shoulder. A nice even breaths. Again, lifting through the crown of your head. And then inhale, come back to center. And swap your legs around. So you're just swapping sides basically. Lovely. And then exactly the same thing, allowing your left hand to rest on the knee, pushing into the foot, the knee and the shin of the left leg. You're going to inhale, lift, twist, exhale, lower. And then keep that going, nice and gentle, inhaling, lift, twist, exhale, lower. And taking a few more of these in your own time. Nice and strong through your side waist. Try to keep a nice straight spine. Inhaling to lift. And exhale to lower. And then we're going to twist and hold. So twisting around. Left hand to right knee, looking over your right shoulder blade. Few breaths here. So keep the pressure through the lower left leg. And then dropping that left buttock back to the floor, coming back to center, but coming all the way around. So you bring your right hand across to your left knee, left hand behind, looking over the left shoulder. And then coming back to center. Finding your way then to come and lay flat down on your back. So knees are bent, feet are flat down on the earth, palms are on the earth, down by your sides. You want your feet to be about hip width apart and your heels up fairly close to your buttocks. And then we're going to inhale, tuck the tailbone and very gently lift the pelvis up off the floor, one vertebrae at a time. And then exhale, lower yourself back down to the earth, one vertebrae at a time. So really slowly. And then work this movement with your breath. So you inhale, you lift, so peeling the vertebrae up, all the way up, until you reach your maximum stretch or until you reach the point where your back says no more, whichever comes first. And then gently placing each vertebrae one at a time back down on the earth. So you should find that as you start to place the lower vertebrae on the earth, your abdominal muscles become quite tight, pulling everything in the lower body in nice and tight. So just make sure that your knees aren't dropping out to the sides here. So if you feel like your knees might be dropping open, then imagine that you've got a brick between your knees and you're holding onto it nice and tightly. And then the next time you lift, if you want to, you can lift and hold. So if you're lifting and holding, make sure you're pushing nice and strongly into the feet, that your thighs are nice and strong, your glutes are nice and strong. You're really gripping onto that imaginary brick between your knees. Chest is lifting towards your chin. And then if you're experienced and you want to, you can roll your shoulders underneath, which will help increase the stretch. And you can bind your hands. Keep pushing your hips up towards the sky. So you can come down at any time that you feel you need to before I give the instructions to do so. There's no obligation to stay. Nice deep breaths. Breathing into your chest here. So if you have the bind, release, allow your shoulders to come back out. And then exhale and very, very gently, as always, one vertebrae at a time, lowering yourself back down to the mat. So finally, the very, very last part of your tailbone rests. And once you're resting firmly back on your mat, you can bring your knees into your belly and allow yourself a knee hug. So it might be nice to rock sideways, it might be nice to rock backwards and forwards, it might be nice to stay still. Be with your body. And then from here, we're going to head to Shavasana, to relaxation. So if you do feel that you might want some blankets and things, or a pillow, then do grab them now. Allow your legs to come out in front of you. Allow your feet to drop gently out to the sides. Shoulder blades are down your back. Hands are down by your sides, placed just away from your body, palms facing up towards the sky. Allowing your body to let go. Allowing yourself to melt into the mat, into the earth beneath you. There is no longer any need for effort. There is no longer any need to do it. You can allow yourself to relax, but to relax with full awareness. Allowing your body and your mind to absorb the full benefits of tonight's. There is nothing more now to be done. Wiggle your fingers. And then wiggle your toes. Drop your head gently from side to side. And then in your own time, find your way to your right hand side to rest in the recovery position. And then very gently finding your way up to a comfortable seat. Bringing hands up overhead in the prana mudras, arms open towards the sky. Bringing your hands together overhead to the crown of your head, to your third eye for wisdom and clarity of thought, to your lips and then your throat for peace and love in all that we say, and to your heart space to love unconditionally. Thank you all for sharing tonight's practice. Namaste.